Well, hello everyone. Hey, Shampoo Flyer, welcome in. Hey, surprise, we're going to try and put one in. Yeah, I kind of delayed there. I had one thing Oh, no. Sorry to hear. We'll be praying for you that one, you don't lose your job, or God forbid that happens, you find one quickly. Oh, sorry to hear that, Shampoo Flyer. Um, So, anyway, welcome aboard. And we are getting ready to do kind of a surprise short flight. Sort of kind. It's about an hour long, a little, maybe a little over, from Scott Air Force Base for Sim Air Force over to Wright-Patterson in Dayton, Ohio. Um, I really hope you enjoy. We are going to try storm chasing. I actually got some pretty good uh, so we'll kind of see. Um, Last night we got some really good results. We went out to Charleston, West Virginia. X-plane even showed a huge blob coming their way, and that blob showed up both on the Airbus and this one. So we got one between, well, we got weather between here and there. So we'll see how it looks in flight. Um, a shampoo flyer, reading what's in the text here, I'm not going to read it aloud. We all don't need to hear it. Um, I would check into that. I believe there are things with carpal tunnel and other things that you may uh, have something to bargain with. Check with a lawyer, though. No expert on that, but that, be it as it may, Family Leave Act. No, more on the side of disability. So check with a lawyer, because there are things, you know, granted, certain jobs can't, but still, under the law, there are things. Well, that's up to you as well. So, anyway, check with a lawyer if you're able, and you may have some options besides. That wouldn't be bad either, paid leave. So, but anyway, let's get back to the flight so we can get this done. Um, so yeah, now first thing before you all comment, yes, this is the ZIBO 737-800. Now you lately have seen me fly the correct version of the C-40, a 737-700. That's with level up. That platform has, as I understand, not updated to where the weather radars work in X-Plane 12 3.0 like they do Zibo and Tolus. So that's why we upped the size. The General gets more leg room. And he said he didn't need it. Okay, the airmen flying with you appreciate it. All right, so let's get in the plane, brief this out. You all go, why is the door closed? You'll see. It's where part of the ZIBO package comes together. Some think and don't like it. Hey, some think and don't like PMDG also. So, to each your own, or their own, or however own you want it to be. All right, so let's get it going. Sim Toolkit real quick to show us what's ahead of us. Bam. Yeah, that was all over us today here in St. Louis. Praise the Lord, we are getting rain. It's been a couple of months. We had a lot of rain, spring, early summer, and then the faucet just went, no water, and stayed that way until this week. So praise the Lord for the water. Man, and to think, I remember back in the 80s and 90s, the huge drought. Well, we had a huge drought even here. Not like you've seen where it rains real good in spring and then in the middle of summer to October it goes dry. No, couple of years without water, much like California has been going through now and several years ago. Ethiopia back in the 80s and 90s is what I'm reminded of. But theirs was massive. Um, to the point of famine and starvation. So I get it, but yet don't get that because we only went 2 months. They went many years without water. Without, I mean, it just was devastating in the 80s out there in Africa. So um, thanks to world organizations and stuff that came in to help feed the kids and feed the families. That was just an amazing thing. Um, but like I said, even in the 80s and 90s, the areas I lived in here in St. Louis and in Dayton, we saw some pretty brutal droughts, but not to that level. So, all right, I'm going to get off of that before I really spin myself in a hole there. Today's flight is very simple. Gateway 1 to Bible Grove, to Shelby. I don't know why. Oh, I guess Shelbyville is a departure. To RID to 5 left. Okay. We are not going to take off on 32 right. We're going to take off on 32 left. I'm trying to think up there, 5 left. I got a feeling we're going to go 5 right. Just if I remember that airport, 5 left was built for the Aero Club that I flew for. I really don't think that's going to be adequate. Although I'm pretty sure Sim Toolkit will think it is. So, but anyway, so there's what we have to look forward to. We are carrying such a huge load today, folks. We are taxing the plane at all ends. 31 people. Ugh, brutal there as well. 7,100 pounds of payload, 11,000 pounds of fuel. Oh, I don't know if this plane's capable of this. And dispatch gave us a cost index of 5. 33,000's the hope. We'll see. And since the METARs are back, winds are 260 at 3. They're just a basic puff in the air here in mid-America. Broken at 10,000, a few clouds at 600. I can kind of get that. It's getting dark here. Out yonder at Wright-Patterson, home or birthplace of flight, if you did not know that, Dayton, Ohio. Winds are calm, 10-mile visibility, broken at 2,000. And the monster is coming your way of rain and storms. Hunker down. No, they weren't that bad through here, so. All right, so there you go. There's what we got going on real quick. Let me get us up and going on VATSIM, so we're set, ready to go. I don't think we're gonna make that. Let's see. Let's go for 1-5. 15 minutes after the next hour. And I do need my numbers. So we're flying with that RNAV. And we'll go with 75 on the RVR. And we got to change that eventually. All right, simairforce.com, SimBrief, and guess who's streaming? That's what I put in my remarks. All right, we'll get rid of that and that. Let me get to the right page to get rid of it off the screen. There we go. Let's go to work here. All right, y'all notice the door closed. Hang on. All right. Popping over here to the EFB. I kind of don't like this night lighting they do, and I've got to figure out how to override. But that's okay. We'll adapt, overcome, try to save the day. All right, go to the next page. Click. All right, basically, here's where we'll put our load. And what I like to do is verify. All right, so 31 passengers. Okay, we're agreed on that. 0 fuel weight, 99,024. And 11,162 pounds. Good. And activate. You notice the air stairs out. Eventually, the fuel truck will show up and do its thing as well, and the door will open. We'll stay in here so we can hear. Let me make sure we're cranking for you. Wait, did I file? Wait, where's my flight plan? Did I file? Let's find, thought I did. Hang on. Okay, that's a good sign. Oh, yep, we're in there. All right, let me just pull up the details here at Mid-America. Pre-filed. Okay, I just, for some reason, did not keep the page. What the heck did I call myself now? Oh, Sim Toolkit or Sim Brief. We are, I believe, Sam. Okay, Sam 20. Okay. Uh, 738, and we are, better yet. Oh, I have to go with 738. Dang it. Ah, that stinks. Okay, real quick, let's put that in 2575. All right, so we'll come in here. I'm going to crank this up. 2, 5. Zeben, whoop, 5. Oop, oop, oop. Back up the truck. There we go. Okay, we're set. Mode C. Everything's good to go. Oh, did we get center? No, we did not. Okay. I saw Cleveland up there, that's why. And while we're at it, let's go .ctaf, and I think I already know it, but I like to make sure. 128.250, I believe. Okay. I cheated. It's been a long time since I had to deal with it. All right, so we're set to go there. All right, so let's get to work. First things first. Oh, we've got the aircraft loaded or loading.
Ground to flight deck fuel is all loaded up. And
That's what
to
we like to hear. All right, fuel's up, cargo's up. All we need are the passengers, which will let them lounge about in base operations or their office while we wait on them. For now, let's crank up that APU. That way the aircraft is comfortable for them. And we can come off ground power and we're good. Just waiting to see it on the EGT here. Hang on a second. I want to make sure everything's working as it should. Get VATSIM radar fired up too. All right, good deal. Hang on. All right, so you can see the EGT falling off now. Once it comes down to in levels, it'll turn the generator available light on. We can turn the APU gens on. There they are. Now we can come up here, go to APU, trim airs on, bleeds now on, and now the aircraft is being cooled comfortably. All right, let's get to work. Top panel. Okay, service phone, radio, EECs, lights, 3 lights green, and devices test good, ELT set. Here we go, to align, to align. Okay, to nav, to nav. Now, if you go straight to nav, that's fine. I stop at align, wait for the lights to come on, then go. But up here, I put it at heading status to make it 7 minutes. Well, not make it, it will tell you how long. In our case, 7 minutes, set to real. Okay, and oh, I want to disconnect ground power. Okay, so we'll go home, passengers. Make sure you disconnect in the plane first. There are several aircraft out there that if you don't, you will on some of them lose your flight plan and performance data you worked on. So if you disconnect from the plane first, then from your EFB or however, that's a lot safer for you. All right, back to where we were, fuel, airside, boom. And we'll start the load process here shortly. Matter of fact, let's get the FMC started. Initialize here at KBLV. I'm going to go to the next page. Today is odd, so we'll use the left. That's just me. You can choose whichever one. They're both the same. And then we'll go to route, KBLV to KFFO, not 0, O. Now, if you are using airside, which is great because it's automated, I don't have to deal with anything but one switch to get the passengers loading. Just one. Everything else automatic. If you're at a gateway, jetway comes in. You get a luggage loader. You get the stairs in our case. So it's really awesome. Let alone, to me, this is more than PMDG. PMDG probably only beats this aircraft in the fact that I think has a form of CPDLC for communicating with, but again, I don't have it, I don't know, but CPDLC would allow you to talk to controllers from the airplane texting it, like they could do in the real world now, which, anyway, you have all of that. You click request and give it a couple seconds, kind of simulating the time it would take to go from the plane to dispatch and back. There's our route. We want to load it. activate, execute, and then clear up all of that. All right, so if you were to go to route, oh, we are on route. Go to legs. There they are. Oh, hey, who said we could have lightning here? Awesome. All right, so now we can begin working our flight plan. So let's go to the departure. Okay, we're going out on the gateway 132 left. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. I wanted that one. Thread to left. Gateway 1 basically is a, by the way, VOR departure. So it's not an RNAV. So most any airplane can fly this. Be it the 747-200, 727s, early 737s, you don't have to have RNAV capability. So those of you on SIVAs, you can enjoy this. You still can't. I mean, rephrase that. You still can't, because they don't tell you. Oh yeah, no, they don't tell you the coordinates. They do in some cases. Like, no, they didn't. Disregard what I said. So anyway, let's get to work. So departure, we said gateway, gateway to the 32 right. Hopefully I didn't do it backwards. And we're going to Bible Grove. Execute. Hopefully I didn't mess up. So Twyla. That could be most likely to Jigsy, but okay. Bible Grove, Shelbyville to Rid. Where the heck is Rid? Oh, is that Richmond? I believe it is. Yeah, Richmond, Indiana. Okay, I'm with you. I'm tracking now there, Sim Brief, you sneaky sly dog. All right, so everything looks good. Let's do another departure arrival, however, for FFO. Many of you are not familiar with military Air Force bases or military bases in general. Didn't I turn on? Oh, I did not. I thought I had. Sorry about that. All right, I now have ATC or VATSIM showing up here as well. Okay, so here's RID. Now, here is Wright-Patterson. And I got it backwards, 5 left. I got it totally wrong. My bad. Turned myself around again, but basically we'll be coming into the big runway here. This runway actually wasn't 7,000 feet when I flew at the Aero Club. It stopped at Charlie. I think it was 5,000? 4 or 5,000 feet. And some not so great stories of somebody not going all the way to the end for takeoff. Thankfully, they ended up good and nothing bad happened, but a couple of them got a little scary. I misjudged like I just did now, and yeah, almost went off the end of the runway on takeoffs. All right, so 5 left's what we're coming into. We're going to see what kind of an arrival. That will not work for us, so we'll cancel. All right, but we do have approaches. We have 5 left. That looks really like what I'm probably gonna want. Clack, no. I think we will just do straight on to final. Now I could do the art. I'm just gonna do that. All right, and then off RID, we'll turn 104 and head for the runway. real quick, just to let us know, not Clack, Armor, which is where we'll join, is 12 miles out, 3,100 feet. Okay, but that's an hour ahead of us. So we're going for the ILS, execute, legs. I'm going to go ahead and close that off. ATC may tell me different, but we'll go ahead and close it off. And then, believe it or not, our missed approach point is Clack. And then we'll come back around the DME arc for the arrival if need be. Okay, back to route. All right, back. All right, so now we've got the route loaded in. If you didn't see it, here it is one more time. Okay. Now let's go to performance initialization and click perf. Can I? Yeah. I had to think for a second. Perf init request. And again, we're going to wait for the load. Zakin Drew 67, welcome aboard. Thanks for the follow. Okay, hang on where are we? Load. Now, you're not going to have to execute anything. All it's doing is just taking what the aircraft is right now. All right, so 11.1, today's flight requires 32 plus 28. 6, am I getting that right? 6? Yes, 6. Okay, now we got to click execute. 33, we may be held down, but yeah, we'll still go for it. Everything else looks good. N1 limits. Now, for this, what I want you to do is, there is no takeoff performance calculator in plane. However, we can go to Sim Toolkit, which I must have minimized. Shameful on me. I have SimBrief added. Now, I use Sim Toolkit because everything on it is free. Volanta and Elevatex are now Volanta has more payware than you'll ever know. Elevatex getting there. But they still both can be basically ran free, but you want things you're going to have to pay for. Sim Toolkit, you don't. That's why we're here. Now, I added SimBrief, SkyVector, and NavGraph here using this little cog tab manager. All of it came over. The PA Virtual I thought would be great, but the graphics for the flights and all don't work well. So that's why, and I keep telling myself, get rid of it. And guess what? I forget. All right, here we go. Here's our flight plan. One more time, real quick. Hey, it's a 47-minute flight, 299 miles, and you know this part. By the way, there's our route, if you'd forgotten. Exclamation mark route. We'll give it to you in the chat, Twitch. But a couple of ways you can use SimBrief for your takeoff calculator. Right now, if you go over, as you see, performance tools, the downside here is you got to fill in everything that, you see red. Takes a little bit, but hey, you end up with a map showing you where your V speeds are. Also, you get your gradient on the runway, up or down, slope on it. I go the fast way. So I go back to my flight plan. I just click View Flight Plan. There it is. Takeoff Performance. Now it's all filled in. What you're not going to get is runway slope and that map. Everything else you'll get. Just make sure you're on the right runway. Okay, so for 32 left, it is an 8,000 foot runway. Plenty for the old 737-800. 8,000 foot heading 319. It's 23 degrees out there, and the winds are, for all intrinsic purposes, calm. So for today, we'll take up flaps 5, take off TO2, and 54 degrees on our select. That should yield us 121, 121, 131. We'll find out here in a minute. Okay. But again, this is right out of sim briefs. A lot of aircraft are in there. Some of the old ones won't be because there's some of the old ones. But you'll find the 737s, the MD-11s, 767, 57s. Those are all in there. And that will help you with this next step. That next step is, wait a minute, why didn't you go away? There you go. Hang on a second, I'm getting something from church. Oh. No, because I'm already working. I'm already working at church. Okay, so if you remember our numbers, here we go. Quick catch up here. There we go. 121. Okay, so first things first, we got to take care of the N1 limit page. So we go takeoff to 54 degrees. And we can select our climb out. We'll let it select. I forget, if we wait, it tells you. Now go to takeoff. Put the CG by just clicking it. Now I go to page 2. I'll put the runway wind in. I forget. Let's go 360 diagonal. Well, wait, I think it's 262, was it? Let me look at Sim Toolkit here. Hang on. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. 260 at 3. And the only reason for the disparity is that weather was older than now. That's in Sim Toolkit right now. So, oh, I'm so bad. What was it? 260. All right, our runway slope. Now you can again get it that one way I told you, or through the takeoff performance. Or through here. By the way, it is 0. 0 diagonal is the heading on the runway. 31. Wait a minute. Yeah, 319. Everything else looks good. All right, go back to the next page. Put our flap 5 in. Boom. A hole. Okay, it's off by 1. Actually, it's off by a little bit more than 1. 1, 3, 1. Okay. Oh man, they are really pinging off my phone. Hang on. Doink. Oh wait, no, I can't do that because the wife may need to get a hold of me. All right, let me get this sucker charging. Oh, I hate this. It's a great system I have here that my wife got me. Just can be a real pain getting it set up. Okay, so we got our V speeds in. You know what that means? It's time to go fly with Mike. All right, last things we need to set up. Speed. 131 will be 141. I like V2 plus 10. 319. Now, currently, I don't think we have ATC. I'm double checking here. That is correct. All right. So, if we did, this SID would require, okay, it's going to be assigned by ATC. Some will actually have a number. This does not, thankfully, so we're going to go to, we'll try for 33, but I'm going to be very skeptical. Okay. And then turn our flight directors on. Okay, real quick, going through everything. Fuel set, cruise set, fasten seatbelts. We actually got to get the people coming, so bear with me. All right, 31 people to load. Shouldn't take too long. Here come the buses with them. Yeah, it's going to take, it should be 2 buses. Why? They could probably put 30 in that bus easily. But hey. Bear with me a second. Okay, we've got them coming on. All right, let's finish up and seatbelt sign.
Captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. We do ask that all passengers take your seat at this time and please fasten your seatbelt. Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until carrying items are properly put away. All overhead bins are closed and all passengers are seated.
Doesn't take long, believe me. 31 people can't straggle too long. Fuel pumps are on. Let's make sure the display panel's back to what you're used to, and we're ready to go. Otherwise, Doors are closed.
Flight attendants prepare for departure. Cross-check and all call. Thank you.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Quick look around the plane as the buses disappear. There it is, folks. Yes, it's a 737-800 when it should be a 737-700. Actually, BBJ. Ooh, nice thunderstorm in the area. Cool. All right, let's get going so we don't get grounded. All right, first things first. Okay, minimums. Barometric pressure here is 2989. Here we go. As soon as I get it dialed up. Okay, here we go. All right, flight director's on. Hang on a second. Oh. Last check, fuel flow. Okay, and landing gear lever down, 3 green, speed brakes down, parking brakes set, yaw dampers coming on. We're ready to go.
Momentarily, I want to thank you so much for your company and business. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Again, welcome aboard.
Okay. Cleared to start. All right, it's real easy. Just turn your packs off. Make sure you turn the fuel pumps on. The aircraft are getting more real by the days. So do those steps and you'll make sure you start. There's a couple you'll ping a master warning if you forget the fuel pumps. Starting up number 2. By the way, we don't need a pushback. Okay, we've got a light off on number 2. Sorry, I saw the green and thought the staircase was out. Okay, let's get the gen on. Real quick funny story while we're waiting on it to spool up. While working at Mid-America Scott Airport, we had the Army band. Was it Army or Navy? Anyway, one of the military bands into Scott. They unloaded on our side at Mid-America Airport and bussed them over. The DC-9 that brought them in, C9 in the military terms, pulled into the gate. Came up to us after, you know, all the commotion was done and gone, and asked me, how do I get out of this gate? They're going to push you back. I was also going to tell them you could power back, but they'll hook a tug up and push you. Yeah, the military doesn't get that often. I found it quite hilarious. As with, mind you, this was after 9/11, the military, not band, honor guard, that's what it was, sorry, could bring their rifles on the airplane, but they had to put the bayonets below. It's a military plane. Yeah. I just shook my head. How fun that was. Anyway, I digress. Rules are rules. I get it. All right, let's get our APU good. Hang on a second. Let me get up top here to make it easier on me. Okay, so we're off the APU, off the bleed. And we'll go ahead, go to Gen 2. Off. Pitot heats on. Hydraulics on. Going down the list. Probe heat, packs. Okay, and flaps. Okay. And finally, let me get these dialed out. We're ready for, well, no, we're not. Takeoff switch continues. Auto brake reject. And we'll get the rest out there. Here we go. Scott, Mid-America traffic, Sam 20, taxiing to runway 32 left from the main ramp at Scott. Okay, hold up just a second. I would like to start my ACARS. Oh, I hope this doesn't have to update. Every time I forget, it usually does. Oh, good. And it needs my numbers. Okay. Okay, and what I'm doing is logging into Smart Cars 3. That's what Sim Air Force uses. if you are interested in Sim Air Force, we are hiring. No. iCrew.simairforce.com will get you there. And basically what we are, we're a virtual special op group. Hang on a second. Just checking my flight. We're a virtual special op group, which means on VATSIM. We're allowed to fly in the military areas, special operating areas, places like Red Flag, both Alaska and Nevada, the Nevada test range. We're able to engage in combat training, engage in air refueling, formation flying, escorting, cargo landings of varieties, lape drops, cargo drops. Basically what you expect that the military, U.S. Air Force, U.S. Navy type could, Coast Guard, Army could do. But you have to do it on VATSIM. That's the whole, why we're there. So hang on a second. I do believe I am up and running. Yes, sir. There we go. All right. I just always like to verify, folks. All right. Now let's get going. So if you're interested, again, iCrew.simairforce, one word, simairforce.com. Got some nice lightning. I may have to turn the radar on right now. Oh, it is lit up. Just took some time for this guy to find some bad weather, even though we had bad weather out of LaGuardia at least. But yeah, it's finally showing up. Now, I actually worked at Scott Air Force Base as well back in the 80s during the Cold War. That was before Mid-America Airport. Where the tankers parked today was helicopters. And lo and behold, a friend of mine when I worked at Scott and would be an eventual chief when I worked at Mid-America, went to helicopter school because of them and flew helicopters as well. So, pretty cool. Hopefully a couple people that I know have been asking me questions about how's the rain look, how's the weather radar look. I can finally tell them about the radar and the rain. We're actually in some weather. But again, thanks for flying with Mike today. If you're new on Twitch, we'd love you to follow us. Just click that follow button and that'll give you an email every time we go live. We are scheduled Monday, Friday. I don't know yet what we're gonna do Friday because I'm a little leery right now. We had a late jump on Monday because of some stuff that popped that I needed to get done. This kind of stream we just pop up on. I can't plan them. It all depends. I work as a guy that cleans the floor at a grocery store. You can imagine what that can be like. I come home sometimes pretty sore, pretty tired. Today's one of them, but I decided to go ahead, give it a try. Yeah, my back's hurting pretty good right now, but that's okay. Scott, Mid-America, traffic, Sam 20, departing runway 32 left, Gateway 1 departure. Boy, I remember the 737s, you could see the lights come up on the ground. Not sure why that doesn't happen when the middle come on. All right, we're lined up. Auto throttle on. Yeah, I know TCAS is off. We'll get it 80 knots. We'll get it airborne.
V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Sorry about that.
400.
Forgot to
1,000.
forgot to do the surface check. Okay, off. Here we go. Flaps 1. All right, let's go to Twyla.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
We're getting tossed about pretty good here.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
All right, well, this is really the first bad weather flight we've had, and I really like it. we're nighttime, which is something I'm not a huge fan of. You can't really see the aircraft. And yeah, it's just, this is cool. All right, let me go home here, and go here, close, so they can rest as much as one can on this route. Calling all AV-tabbers that know this program. Two problems I have with it, besides the fact we're in hyperspace behind it. It won't show the weather, and it won't show my track. And I'm thinking I got the wrong one. Chewie, why did you put us in hyperspace in the atmosphere? Nice. Nice. And those look awesome. Look at that. Oh, great job, Laminar. I can finally say it. I finally see it. At least in Zibo. Wow. Wow is definitely the big word of the day. I am loving it. All right, I'm going to get back to chat now. Kind of ignored it too long here. Go back to when we had the follow. Zach Andrew 67. Love your grind. Let's duo up. Think we'd be a solid team? Add me on Discord. All right, well, give me a second. I'll do that. It looks like that's all I had. I'm working on it. Sorry, a little busy. And now I lost Discord. Oh, there it is. Okay, what if I said I don't see you? Well, I'll be doggone. Who at base ops let Mr. Escobar on the aircraft? Who didn't properly screen? Did you not hear that? I did. Ugh. Oh boy, I know some people gonna get in trouble over that one. Huh? All right, so we are on our way. Okay, why are we stuck at 250? All right, gonna point something out here. Guys that fly 737s, I find this a lot. And I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm gonna look real quick before I get. It could be a ZIBO issue. Okay, we're past Jigsy. Okay, it is not. Okay, it's not a ZIBO issue. It looks like it's a sim brief issue. We are going to be top of climb right now. We're going to leave the seatbelt sign on. Sorry, General. Just a little too rough as we go over this storm. And then we'll resume normal flight. But, okay, we're gonna push it up. Anyway, what I was gonna say, SimBrief is putting your cost indexes at a certain number that restricts your Mach number. You were just doing I was just doing 220 something indicated speed at Mach 6.6. That is way off. Now, fairness, we do have bad weather. Will SimBrief take that into account? I'm gonna say I doubt it. But watch your speeds. Flew a event flight several weeks ago to Indianapolis. 737 after 737 were not even close to their sim brief published mocks, and basically ignored the controller telling them to bring it up to 7.78. It's a very simple process. Speed, intervene, and then dial it up. Whatever they tell you, Mach number. So, even if your flight plan says 0.659 as mine, or 66, if the controller says go to 0.78 and you can do it, safely, go to 0.78. It's very annoying because every heavy aircraft had to be rerouted around them because they wouldn't accelerate. Very annoying. So always keep an eye on your speed. And do as the controllers tell you to do. Whether you like it or not, because there's a lot of things they tell me to do I don't like, still gotta do it. All right, we're airborne. We're in cruise, and looking down here, we're 77 miles from top of descent. How about that? Like I told you, it's a quick flight, up and down. I really wanted to see how it reacted with the weather we had gone through here, and that had gone through St. Louis. And right now we technically should be in it, but it looks like servers are delayed. Something to put in the back of our minds of where we live. I don't know. We'll find out more on Friday. I'm really not chasing storms on Friday. Possibility, if you all in X-Plane don't know already, shame on you. No, Friday, Tolis is releasing the A320ceo version, conventional engines. Many of you are like, what's a CEO version? Well, we have the NEO. NEO standing for New Engine Options. The CEO is actually the originals, so it's your CFM, IAE type engines. Conventional, I think, is what the C stands for, engine op. So, and from the couple of videos I kind of watched a little bit through, looks really good. Got all your normal Tolis stuff you're used to. I think there's only one cabin type, and which is fine, and I think it's 180 seats, so we'll be able to work with that. Even if you're in a 2-cabin setup, you can drop it, to whatever the PAX count comes out. So Friday that comes out. What time? Who knows? So, but we're gonna try and enjoy it. If not, whoa, what was that? Somebody drop a nuclear bomb. Wow. So, and Friday, I haven't wrapped my mind yet around what to fly. So we'll kind of figure that out Friday. Indy Center on Auto ETC cross 20 miles west of RID. I hate those. Makes it so hard to figure out. 14,000, we're at 33 times 3, so we need 57 miles. All right, hang on, let me try something here. They're making me do things I normally don't here. Progress. RID's 124. What did I say I need to be? 33 minus 14 times. So we'll be about 60 miles, 70. We'll do it at about 70 miles out. Oh, that's off RID. All right. Right about, that's about right now. Actually, it'd be about 90, 95 miles out. Pardon me, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with you. Had to get some water. It's gonna get loud. All right, so looks like I'm going to go ahead and just do the descent from here. We'll stop at 14 by 20 from RID. Now, to do a descent, a couple of things you can do here. If I can get the airplane, there we go. Now, you could go to the descent button here, click it, and follow instructions. Or if you have a different FMC and it says VNAV, click on it, then down, look for page, next page, click on it till you see descent. It will look like this. Obviously, descent now. We're going to do forecast. Now, if you're flying anywhere but the US, get the transition level because it is not the same. and put that in, and then request your descent winds. We may or may not get any. ZIBO works off of Sim Toolkit, or a Sim Brief, sorry. And we got no wind data. Okay. So we go back to descent, and now I'm ready for descent, so we'll just click descent. Now, you could use the altitude intervene button up here on the MCP. Let's do that. And then you get the descent range marker on, letting you know how high or low above the projected descent path you're on. Yeah, the general ain't gonna be happy. We're not turning the seatbelt sign off. And he'll probably go, well, I've got stars, I can do what I want. Oh man, some pretty funnies. By the way, off the window there is Indianapolis Airport. As you can tell, clear skies here in Indy. Right now, let's get a quick METAR from Dayton. Actually, from Wright-Pat. All right, currently calm winds, 10-mile visibility, and a few clouds at 4,000 feet. I can't beat that. Only thing that's going to be tough for me is landing it at night. To me, at night in the sim is sometimes more challenging. Not in finding airports, but that spatial recognition of ground to airplane. So to me, well, I'm only going by what I did back in the 80s when I actually flew Cessnas and Pipers. I could get a better sense of where I was to the ground. Here you can't. And that hurts sometimes, because that's why, to me, I have harder landings at night than by day. So auto brake set. All right, we'll keep, well, the seatbelt signs are staying on. We'll do transition at 18,000, where $2995. Now you can preset that. Okay, I think we're set, and let's get our minimum set right. 200. And we're ready to go. Oh yeah, I guess our ILS frequency would be a good thing. All right, we're going ILS 1097. All right, and our heading for that will be 53. 53. Yep, they're starting to get closer. They're following us, those storms. All right, let's get Wright-Patterson's information. 27.8. All right, we are approaching Richmond, Virginia. How about, boy, did we make a wrong turn if we ended up in Virginia. Richmond, Indiana. And then we're going to head for Wright-Pat. Pretty much direct to the ILS, catch it at Armour, and fly it in. 3,100 feet at Armour. And that's what we're going to set. 5,000. Let's set 4,000. By the way, since we released the brakes to this point, 31 minutes. Great short flight. And I remember this was one of those, you know, I love to talk about the Concorde and how if you were going westbound, it's a time machine. What do I mean by that? You would board the plane. If you looked at your watch and you don't change time, so don't use today's watches that would change times. Look at your watch, board the Concorde, they'll just say 1 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time you got to JFK or Dulles, whichever one you were headed to, you may not even be to 1 o'clock. Oh, wait a minute, I'm saying it wrong. Anyway, you would see your watch would be just getting to 1 o'clock where you're landing, or your clocks. Look at a clock on the wall. If it says 1 o'clock, come off the airplane, look at a clock on the wall. Might be before. And that's because of all those time zones and how fast that plane flew. Why do I say that? I know it's very confusing for me to figure out how to say the analogy right. I flew a couple of flights from Dayton, Ohio to St. Louis. It's a 1 hour flight scheduled with TWA or Piedmont back then. So you would board the plane if you looked at the clock at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you would get off the plane at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in St. Louis, because you lose an hour. It's like you never flew. It's like, Scotty, beam me up. kind of cool. Anyway, the cool things I find out there. Okay, we'll start getting this aircraft slowed to 250 now as it gets ready to make the turn. Well, I hope you enjoyed this short flight. We're looking at about 10 minutes to go. So if you're into predictions here on Twitch, I predict, or I'm sorry, exclamation mark predict, space, and a negative number. I may try it. We'll see. Okay, 4,000 armor. Is that gonna work? How far out are we? 12 miles. No, we need to make it lower. Okay, let's get ready here. Minimum set. Ooh, VCOD. Okay, so flaps 30, 126. Okay. We'll plan our approach at 136. Everything looks good. Minimum set. We'll start the flaps here shortly and get ready to land this pup. Okay, let's get the frequency pulled up. Front center. Looks like the localizer is alive. we do have clouds at 4,000 to contend with, so maybe that's what's holding our visibility. Oh, there we go. We're starting to see things. Is that Moraine? Cool. That's Moraine Airport. There's a seaplane base used to be with that, and a big truck or car factory right across the interstate. Wow. Cool. I see, right, Pat. Switching over. $127.8. Okay. Yeah, Wright-Patterson traffic. Sam 20 armor on the ILS runway 5 left.
$2,500.
Wright-Patterson traffic, Sam 20, 5 mile final, 4-5 left.
$1,000.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
Okay, flaps 33 green, cleared to land.
500. $400. 300. approaching minimums. $200 minimum. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Knots.
Welcome to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. This used to be a SAC base back in the 60s. Now primarily training experimental aircraft types, and not you know, like you're gonna call a UFO. We're talking they're experimenting with like the airborne laser and stuff like that. Back in when I lived here, there was these really big fat-nosed KC-135s. They were radio. One of the many missions was they'd fly a couple to Australia and would provide radio communication when the shuttle went into that dark zone. It helped shorten it. Also, back when I flew in the 80s, they had F4s for the Air Force Reserve here. All right, welcome in. I think we've got everything set. Oh yeah, I've got a couple things up here to do. Okay, beacons off. There you have it. We are at Wright-Patterson, and the people are getting off, and so are we. This is the end of today's flight. A little quick recap here. Stand by. All right, there you have it. That's what we flew St. Louis over to from, Scott Air Force Base to Wright-Patterson. Again, a 1 hour flight, folks. Don't ever expect that to be a super long flight. Fun flight. I enjoy it from time to time. So I hope you did as well too. Hang on a second. We'll go ahead. Get some things cleared off here. All right, let's bring in Elevatech, see how it recorded the flight. Okay, and again, there's that blob, the blob. All right, let's complete the flight, then we'll zoom in on it. All right, according to Elevatech, 344 feet a minute, 135 knots, 1.5 G or 6 Gs. Hey, that's not bad. Let's be totally honest. That really isn't all that bad. By the way, I used to fly out of an alert shacks that used to be set there, fighters, which were then transformed into the Aero Club for the military, and it was fun to fly out of there. Miss it. Anyway, so there's what we did. Oh yeah, good old days. Right, the official scorekeeper. Sim Toolkit. They got us at 415, 135, and 1.5 Gs. Take it for what it's worth on those numbers. Let's look at, though, I always like to know, one, did I land on the center line? Did I land near the landing marks, the visual cues? I will tell you right now, I know I did not on the second. The first would be very close, I think. 1 hour, 1 minute. You gotta be kidding me. They wanted me on 5 right. All right, well, we're not gonna be able to get the accurate length down the runway because they wanted us on the shorter one. Here's your threshold: 500, 1,000, 1,500. We're about 20, we'll call it 2,500 feet down the runway. And of course, we're going to have to, it looks pretty good for the center line. I'd say 10, 15 feet off. So that's 200 feet, folks. You're okay. No. But overall, everything number-wise looks really good. That was a really fun flight. I always love when they put us on the other runway. All right, so hey, I am so glad you all could join in tonight. It was fun. We got to see the weather radar in action, and just a wonderful night. I hope you all enjoy ZIBO, enjoy the TOLUS A319 and the A320s or 21s They are updated for the new radar. The A320neo, I'm not certain, but by Friday, I'm pretty sure they both will be fully ready to go on X-Plane 12 3.0's radars. All right. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. And something to keep in the back of your mind is our verse of the day. It's out of Ephesians, a great book to read of the Bible. Now, all of us can come to the Father, that's God, through the same Holy Spirit because of what Jesus Christ has done for us on the cross. What did Jesus Christ do for us on the cross? He took our sins. He took our sins and put them to death on the cross, and then rose up and is seated at the right hand, the only God out there who is alive, who resurrected, who is alive. Enjoy your week. God bless. We'll see you for sure Friday, maybe earlier.